Welcome to the morning huddle. Yes, it is Thursday, and yeah, the week's going pretty good. Hopefully, you are having a good week so far. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about today kind of almost have like a theme. The theme this week is pretty much organization, which is just different, but I'm okay with it. Everyone's kind of interested in that. So today's morning huddle, I just wanted to talk about working from home a little bit. I think it's a pretty relevant subject because so many of us are doing it right now. And I was on a conference call yesterday afternoon, and it was we were talking about strategy and business strategy and that kind of thing, as the calls tend to be. But one of the things that they asked me, and I thought it was a really interesting question, just because it didn't really fit into the conversation we were having. But it was basically, how are your team working from home? From being in an office, being in a really busy, buzzy agency environment, to then just completely working remotely. And then how are you ensuring that everyone is successful? So it's funny because, well, it's not funny. I'm proud of my team. My team they are highly skilled and they're completely capable of working from home with no issues at all. But from a business owner standpoint, it was pretty much, how did I make sure that everything was working? And what we did was we do lots of prep and we do lots of training when we are having our employees work from home at the beginning. So, for example, after the first 3 months in the company, they are able to start, because I want everyone to kind of meet and spend time together and really get into the projects and learn about the clients, and then overhear client calls and maybe a client dropping by, or all the good stuff that people would miss if they were working from home immediately. And so what we would do is, after a 3-month period, then we start letting them work from home for a few days per week. So we pretty much have a rotating schedule. So everyone works from home already a little bit. So with that said, how did we set them up? Well, these are my tips, and these are my tips because I've made all of these mistakes already, and I no longer make these mistakes. My first thing, success from working from home, is to not work in your bed, not work on your couch. Actually work somewhere where you're able to sit at a desk and mimic your work environment. Now, why do you want to mimic that environment? Well, because you don't want to work somewhere that's associated with rest. And this is something that I've seen so many people miss. And I would say that this is probably the easiest one to do. But I know how people are working from home now, because it's kind of like a lot of people were thrown into it. Because my team had the advantage of already doing this, and we've already went through everything and checked everything out for them, and they were completely covered when they wanted to start. But for people who are just now working on a laptop in their bed, with their bed pillow underneath their computer, that's not where you should be. Try to mimic your work environment as much as possible. So I even say go as far as to create your desk to be very similar how it was when you were in your office. So if there's little tchotchkes that you have and you like to have out, grab them and put them around the desk that you're working in. Another thing is, with the amount of Zoom calls that are happening, and this is something that I'm really happy to see, because we're continually able to connect with people. Everyone's jumping on Zoom and remote meetings and virtual meetings wholeheartedly. So what that means is, shut your dog up, close the door, turn the television off in the background. I have been on calls where all of these things are happening, and they are not great for you to be having. You don't want to have those interruptions when you are on a call where you're trying to be professional, trying to be credible, trying to have people engage with you. You don't want to hear dishes in the kitchen rattling around. You don't want to hear all of that kind of stuff. So just make sure that whenever you're going to be on a call, kind of make sure that you're in a quiet environment, And also, this is something that you could do. You can get a little sign and put it on the door and saying, please do not disturb, call in progress, or something cute that no one would be offended with. Because obviously tensions are going to be running high, right? Because everyone's living at home all at once. Now, if you're a solo person, or if you're living with your significant other and your children or your pets and your mom's over or whatever, it's really good to be able to set the boundaries that you need. Which brings me to my next one. Don't work in the kitchen. I think a kitchen, I mean, I don't mind if you want to bounce around a little bit and kind of get some different environments, but I don't really feel like it's being in the center, the warm center of the home is really that great for working in productivity. But my caveat here is that if you have no choice and you have to do your own childcare, this is I am not judging you at all. You have to do what you feel best. Our team does not have that issue, so a lot of the training that we've given to them works for this environment. But there are times that you can utilize these same sort of tenets. I also think having all of the tools that you need that make you feel confident. So if you were working off of a pad of paper and you'd like to have pen to paper, but you don't have one of those at home, and now you're trying something different, I really say that keep to what you know. Don't try to reinvent every aspect of everything, because then your whole life will become very different than you're used to. I really do feel like the big core competencies here are to keep your environment as close and professional as you are used to working. If you worked all remote all the time and you're used to sitting out in your lanai by the pool taking conference calls, I wouldn't change that. But if you're used to being in an office setting where you're sitting at a desk for 8 hours to 10 hours a day, answering emails and writing on your pads, and now you have Netflix on in the background watching Tiger King while your dog's sitting in your lap, and it's going to be hard. And this is why I'm sharing this advice, because it is going to be harder. So try to kind of maybe work on some of these things as well. I really do feel that there's a lot of benefits to working at home in terms of productivity. There's lots of time for reflection. There's time that you can just kind of like walk away from your work and kind of maybe just take a quick stroll around the neighborhood. There's a lot more freedom because you're not having that commute anymore. You're not going to have maybe that stressful commute, and you're going to have a lot of extra time. So that's another, and this is my last parting shot on this one, is don't take a conference call while you're doing the dishes and folding the laundry. I feel that there is enough time in your day now to do those in the right period of time. Unless you are a master at managing your time, it can be very distracting. And I'm saying that from someone who knows. And that's why I suggest, well, guess what? Maybe let's think about your commute. Maybe you're commuting for 40 minutes in the morning and then 40 minutes in the afternoon. And then you took an hour and a half for lunch. Now you're going to have 3.5 hours or 3 hours added to your day. That's enough time to do all this extra stuff. Maybe getting up in the morning and throwing some loads of laundry in and cleaning up the kitchen first, as opposed to doing it in the middle of the day while you're listening in on your phone call. And I'm telling you, a lot of people do that, and I've experienced it, which is why I am sharing it with all of you. Because I've been on a few calls with people that were actually trying to win business from us. And I could hear them doing their dishes. No, that's not respectful, so don't do that. But those are just some of my working from home tips that we use at the Go Agency, and it's been really great successful for us. So try them out. And then obviously I've been talking about prioritizing your work and organizing your day. So hopefully this is a good addition to all of that. But thank you guys for your comments and your DMs and stuff. I really appreciate it. If you want anything else covered, just shoot me off a message or comment on this video anywhere you're seeing it. And then, and I'll talk to you next time on the Morning Huddle. All right, folks, have a great day.